Is Counter-Strike 2 a dying game? For over 2 decades, Counter-Strike has been one of the most dominant competitive shooters ever created. From dusty LAN cafes in the early 2000s to million-dollar esports arenas, Counter-Strike wasn't just a game, it was the standard for tactical FPS. So when Counter-Strike 2 launched, expectations were massive. New engine, new physics, new era. But just months after release, a question kept coming up more and more often. Is CS2 dying? Not dead, not gone, but losing what made it unstoppable. Let's talk about why. First, we need to look at player numbers. On paper, CS2 looks healthy. Steam charts still show hundreds of thousands of daily players, but raw numbers don't tell the whole story. What's worrying isn't how many people log in, it's how long they stay and how often they come back. Many longtime players describe the same cycle. They queue up, play a few matches, get frustrated, and log off. And that wasn't normal for Counter-Strike. CSGO kept players grinding for years. People played through bad metas, bad maps, even bad updates. CS2, on the other hand, feels like it's burning goodwill faster than it can rebuild it. One of the biggest issues is gameplay feel. Counter-Strike lives and dies by precision. Movement, recoil, timing, everything has to feel exact. In CS2, many players feel something is, well, off. Shots that look perfect don't register. Peeker's advantage feels worse. Movement feels heavier and less responsive. Valve introduced sub-tick servers to improve accuracy, but for many players, it's done the opposite. Instead of feeling more precise, gunfights feel inconsistent, and inconsistency is the worst thing a competitive game can have. When players feel like skill isn't being rewarded, they stop trusting the game. And once the trust is gone, it's hard to bring back. Then there's the cheating. Cheaters have always existed in Counter-Strike, but CS2 has brought a surge of complaints. High-ranked matches filled with suspicious players, spin bots showing up in competitive queues, reports that feel like they go nowhere. Valve's anti-cheat VAC hasn't evolved fast enough to keep up, and while third-party platforms like Faceit still offer better protection, casual and ranked matchmaking, where most players live, feels neglected. When honest players feel punished for playing fair, they leave. Quietly, without announcements, without drama, that slow bleed is how games actually die. Another massive problem is content stagnation. When CS2 launched, Valve removed features players had relied on for years. Game modes disappeared, maps were missing, custom servers broke, workshop content lagged behind. And the updates since then? Slow. Very slow. Other live service games push weekly patches, events, cosmetics, and quality of life changes. CS2 updates feel minimal and unpredictable. No roadmaps, no communication, just silence. The same silence Valve has always relied on. But silence doesn't work anymore. Players expect transparency, they expect progress, and when they don't see it, they assume the worst. Now let's talk about the casual player base. Counter-Strike was never just about esports. For every pro grinding FPL, there were thousands of casual players surfing, playing community servers, or hopping into fun modes after school. CS2 has struggled to support that side of the community. Community servers are harder to find. Casual modes feel undeveloped. The game feels more sterile, less like a playground and more like a test environment. When casual players leave, they don't get replaced easily. New players try CS2, get stomped by veterans, face cheaters, don't understand recoil, and quit. A game can't survive on hardcore players alone. Then there's a skin economy. Ironically, this is one area where Counter-Strike is still thriving, and that might be part of the problem. Skins are worth millions. Some individual items are valued higher than real cars. Entire businesses exist around CS trading, but Valve seems more focused on protecting the economy than improving the gameplay. Players notice when skins get more attention than servers, anti-cheat, or balance. When a game starts feeling like a marketplace first and a competitive experience second, priorities come into question. Let's compare CS2 to its competition. Valorant is aggressive with updates. Fortnite reinvents itself constantly. Apex improves movement and matchmaking. Meanwhile, CS2 is still trying to reach parity with CSGO. That's not acceptable in 2026. New players raised on modern shooters expect smooth onboarding, fast fixes, and visible progress. CS2 still feels like it's stuck between generations, not old enough to rely on nostalgia, not new enough to feel revolutionary. But here's the important part. CS2 isn't dead, not even close. Counter-Strike has survived worse. It survived Source, it survived bad metas, it survived years without updates. The difference now is expectations. Players know how good Counter-Strike can be. They've experienced peak CSGO. They've seen what Valve is capable of. That's why disappointment hits harder. People criticize CS2 because they care. A truly dying game doesn't get angry posts, long videos, or heated debates. It gets ignored. And Counter Strike is still being talked about constantly. So, what decides CS2's future? Well, it's Valve. If Valve commits, really commits, to communication, anti cheat, performance, and community features, CS2 could dominate for another decade. If they don't, CS2 won't collapse overnight. It'll fade. Longer queue times, lower quality matches, more third party reliance, less excitement. Not a dramatic death, a quiet one. So is CS2 a dying game? Not yet. But for the first time in Counter Strike's history, its future isn't guaranteed. And that should worry everyone who grew up clicking heads on Dust, too. If y'all want more content, like and subscribe. And you can catch me on Twitch every single night at Stash CS. Thank you.